These are Penn students who are taking a class from one of my biologists who's teaching. His name is Gerald Wright. I'd like to introduce you to him. He's a very interesting fellow, graduate of Yale Forestry School and Howard University. Yeah.
I'm always amazed by the number of scientists around.
All right then.
What kind of questions do we have?
Angela's question. So I was just wondering, what would you say about private homes and businesses who aren't as on board with the whole green infrastructure because of the cost issues and stuff?
Oh, there's a ton of issues that everyone has to consider as a homeowner or a business owner, whether or not it's time for them to make a change and greenify or economize their house or their business. And it may not be the right time for everyone. The best time, of course, is when you're retrofitting your house or you're building a new home is being built. Some people are anxious and desiring change today, and we can see that here. You see all these houses of people who want to help change the environment, and others it's going to take a while, and it's up to them, and we don't expect everyone to make a change right at the same time. This is a long process of how we evolve the city over time to become a green city and to manage water and energy use and other sustainable elements, and do that over an extended period of perhaps 20, 30 years.
All right, so what would you say to people who don't understand why they ought to change?
I'm sorry, say that again?
What would you say to people who don't necessarily understand why they should change?
Well, I turn that question around and I'll say that I think we're at a point in time, and I think that's evidenced here, that people are getting it. And there's more of a demand for change than there is a sense of resistance to change in Philadelphia and around the country. And with that, and particularly with the newer generations, younger generations coming in, that change is happening. And their education process is in place already to explain to people why these things are better, and people understand, for example, a recycle bin. Everybody has a recycle bin now. Everyone takes their can and puts it in there, and they feel good about themselves. And this has become something that 5 years ago wasn't there. It was just a small group of people who were doing it, and today everyone's doing it. The same thing with rain barrels. Today there's a small group of people who like to have rain barrels in the house, but that group is expanding, and it will expand like the recycle bin has.
Can you talk a little bit about the water department and kind of their green initiatives and how it's different from things that other major cities are doing?
What's Philly doing differently?
What's Philly doing differently? Well, we're doing things, we're innovating, demonstrating, we're putting into place things that are leading the country in terms of how to look at urban environments differently into the 21st century. So we're looking at working with our sustainability office and our streets department and a whole bunch of folks to work together to figure out how do we all change the city. What are we looking to evolve the city into? What do we want the city to look like in 30, 40, 50 years? And questioning ourselves about that. And as the city evolves, as new buildings are built, as streets are rebuilt, that change is taking place. We're creating the design standards today for how the city should look like tomorrow. And other cities are coming, they're coming to Philly, they're looking, they're seeing this, and they're trying to mimic what we're doing in other cities. And our sister cities, by the way, are just New York City and Washington, Portland, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Chicago. Those are the cities that are also looking to do this and trying to figure out how we all work together to create this change. Okay?
Yep.
Is that it?
Good.
That's good?
Thank you so much.
Sure, thank you.